Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's talk about Anoma or the XAN token. The token launched back in like September. As you can see here, it is the newly launched token and it has seen a massive surge, as you can see. So let's break it down what is happening with XAN and why is it going up, and whether if this like surge or this pump is sustainable or not, considering how the overall market is doing as of now. So the reason why the token is going up, I'll just go to that, is because they just went live on Ethereum, and the next gen virtual machine at the heart of Anoma distributed OS, the ARM, brings like native intents and best in class privacy to any chain starting with Ethereum. So basically they are also riding on this privacy narrative as well, and as the market goes down, the privacy narrative becomes really strong, and overall everything in privacy starts to do really well. For example, if you look at ZAG started to do really well when the overall market went down. When if you look at Dash, when if you look at DCR, that is the exact same case. And as of now, same thing is happening with XAN, and they just launched their big product, and basically their big product went live on Ethereum, and that is a pretty big narrative, I would say, for this token to go up, and I think that's really good. Now the token is going down, but as of now it has seen like a massive like surge starting from like 2.4 cent. Now if we look at like its listings, so token is available on Gate.io, HTX, Bybit, Coinbase, as well as Kraken. But I think if it gets listed on the Bit or even on the Binance, we could see a massive surge as well. That is another possibility that we are looking at. And if it gets listed on like let's say Binance or even the Upbit, I think there is a possibility that XAN could go as high as like 7.4 cent. Now in terms of its starting market cap, it was at like over 400 like million, and it went as high as 300 million, and I think as of now there is a possibility that like it can go as high as 178 million or even 300 million is a possibility. And again, I have already covered this token in a detailed manner, so you can check that out as well if you're interested in like in stockonomics and some other things. But basically as of now they are here in the mainnet phase 1, and once the mainnet phase 2 arrives, that is going to be additional catalyst that can push this token to a new high. And last but not least, they will also have their consensus as well, that could also be like their last stage of the massive surge as well. I'm not sure, but again that is what we are looking at. So basically as of now this brings like a pretty big thing to the Ethereum, as you can see, enabling native intents, programmable privacy and interoperability via the Anoma resource machine. So this is, I think, pretty big one for them, and this is a distributed operating system which abstracts the complexities of the existing blockchain away. So that is what they're going with, and as of now I think this could be a really big one. And in terms of like research, so if we're planning to get into this token, I think probably we'll most likely see a retest as low as 4.1 cent, or eventually as low as 3.1 cent is a really good entry point, now 3.2 cent, or even it can go as low as 3.7. But after that I think it will most likely start to go back again, because as of now it is holding it really well. So I think there's a possibility that we could see a really good bounce back, and if it breaks like this 5.9 cent level, there is a possibility that it may actually go as high as 10.4 again. This is a newly launched token, and as of now, considering like its massive like price surge, I think there is still most likely another leg up that we're waiting for, because this is a newly launched token, and I think it will most likely continue to go up. That is what I think as of now, because overall everything is like down. There will be some tokens that are bound to go up in a market like this, and I think XAN could be like one of them, because they just launched their big update, like it happened yesterday. But again, I think because of that, the token like most likely there are some like traders who are most likely taking profit, whoever bought it below 3 cent, and they are most likely selling it here. But I think if it flips this resistance, this is a really strong resistance. If it flips it, I think it will most likely go as a 7.3 cent. And I think considering like if we look at its volume, it's fairly high, I would say. So there is a possibility that XAN could go for this like level if it breaks like the high of 5.8. That's a possibility. Again, if like hype continues, there is a possibility that it goes as high as 10 cent. If that happens, that is going to be a price surge of over 130%. That is going to be massive, but I think that is certainly possible. And again, the token has yet to be listed on the pretty big exchanges such as Binance or even like a bit. So there is a possibility that it may actually launch on any of those exchanges, and if that happens, I'm pretty sure XAN will hit 7.4 cent, and if the hype is high, I think it can hit that 10 cent level mark as well. But again, if you're planning to hold this coin for a real long term, you do need to know that it is going to have token unlocks in the future. So that will happen probably after like August of 2026. So there is still a pretty good window, I would say. And like if you look at like its listings, it is available on like pretty big exchanges. But again, I think we still need Binance as well as like a bit listing if it wants to go higher. And I think there is a possibility that it will happen. Now, besides that, they have been like hyping up privacy a lot. And as of now, the privacy narrative is also really hot. That is something that can also help XAN. Also, again, as of now, we have like a pretty good dip on XMR, or even like ZAG is still struggling to hit a new high. But overall, I think considering how the privacy coins are doing as of now, there is a possibility that XAN could actually run as high as 10 cent or even maybe as high as like 7.4 cent. And now, in terms of like how they are doing, I would say they do have like a really good websites as well as you can see here. I don't think that it matters that much, but again, it is like really interesting, and they are clearly like presenting their solution as well, so that's really good. Overall, I think as of now intent narrative is doing extremely well as well, so that is something that can also help I think XAN as well. But as I said, as of now everything does depends on the privacy, and they are like hyping it up, and there is a possibility that XAN could like bounce back from 4.1 cent or even like 3.7 cent as well. But again, I think 3.7 cent is a really good entry point, or even like 3.2 cent is another great entry point. But there is a possibility I think it will bounce back like from 4.1 cent as well. Anyways, I think I covered pretty much everything about XAN. Thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.